lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going fine. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
What's going on, everybody? Charles McCutchen here. I'm your favorite entrepreneur. Well, today I just want to invite everybody in and say hello, hello, hello. It's been a week. It hasn't been that long. But this show is Charles's Corner, and it's all about financial freedom. And I'm going to be bringing on some special guests. No, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to do, for those who have not been on this call, I just pick different topics, and for me, I put them in a mixing bowl, and we make financial freedom out of it. So I just saw something today in the Wall Street Journal, and I hope y'all ready for this one. In the Wall Street Journal, it is saying by the year 16 years from now, 2035, that we are going to be in trouble. And when I say we, we're looking at everybody who thinks they're going to be getting money from Social Security. Now, I know it's not a lot of money because I know some people who get that. And me being 80 years old, I get it as well. I know a lot of people that get that. And my thing is, what's going to happen when that starts to, like, dry up? And a lot of people really, live off of that. I know some people are making like $900-something or $1,000, and they're living off that for the month, and that's like their reality. But when it goes away, and this is what's going on, I'm just give y'all some insight. So, and I'm not gonna take it all the way back. I would take it back to like 1913. I want y'all to look up 1913 and look up Jekyll Island, and I'm gonna stop right there with that. And I want y'all to really pay attention to the government. Now, I hope I don't disappear for saying this, but the government, it's common information. It's just out there. You can Google it or what have you. It's Googleable. But anyway, you can check it out for yourself. And what's happening is the U.S., and we've been doing this for a long time, we've been off the gold standard. And all that means is we're really just printing money, like, with no stopping in sight. And imagine it this way. Back in the day, if you old like myself, we used to use checks, right? And people who had checks, they just would try to cash a check because they thought they had money. So imagine if you had like a box full of checks and you really don't have a lot of money in the bank, but you just keep cashing checks anyway. That's the same thing that's going on right now with the U.S. We do it, and that's how the government does it. We just keep spending and spending and spending. And I was in a meeting with 26 economists, right? So they started talking about what's going to happen in the U.S. And economists, they look at numbers. They just break numbers down to help us to understand what's going on in the world and in the U.S. And so the numbers that they broke down, it said, we keep printing this money. At some point in time, there's going to be an implosion. Not explosion, an implosion. That means we're going to implode. Because you cannot just keep printing money and think everything is going to be okay. Something is going to happen. What is that something? I don't know. But let me give you some more insight in what I'm speaking on. And so I'm looking at all these teenagers now, coming of age, 13, 14, 15, 16 years old. I remember being 15, 16, and, I started my first job when I was 10, paper route and things like that. But when you get to 15, 16, we did some fast food. I worked at McDonald's. But now you're going into these different fast food places, and you have the machine. You just punch in everything. And you go to Walmart, you have the line. You can just check out without anybody being there. And so the way we have to look at that, and all this is, I'm going to bring it all to fruition. You can kind of understand what I'm talking about. So you look at all that right there to say these kids, 15, 16 years old, when they're not going to be able to get jobs because it's going to be less of them needed. And so what happens to them? And if they try to get, one of those I wouldn't say high-paying jobs, but those jobs that you need a little experience, and that's what a lot of people experience. They're saying that you are not qualified because you need more experience. And it's like, well, give me a job and I can get some experience. And then you have the baby boomers, people born in 1946, 1964. You have them out there. They're trying to work because they don't have enough money, and they're not being allowed to work because it's age discrimination. And I know because and used to be in HR, did all that stuff. And so it's more of they're not finding jobs. The younger folks, the older folks can't get jobs. The older folks don't have enough money to survive. Studies are showing that they don't have $1,000 of discretionary income. Studies are showing that, and y'all can look all this stuff up. Studies are showing that we're $1 million in credit, trillion, sorry, let me get my numbers right, with the T, $1 trillion in credit card debt, $1 trillion in car debt, $1 trillion in student loan debt. So we are, as a nation, we are so in debt, and it's not going away. And this is what we're doing. We're still traveling. We're still having fun. We're still doing whatever we have to do because we're not ready to look at tomorrow. And I want y'all to do this and see if it's true of what I'm about to tell you. So what you need to do on your social media, post up something about money, and nobody will respond. Now, you're going to have so many limited responses on there, it's going to be a shame. And I would say the post that you need to take, look up Wall Street Journal and look up Social Security and then pull that post and drop it on your timeline and tell everybody, wow, watch what's happening, y'all. Look at what's happening. Put something like that, and I guarantee you it will be chirp, chirp, chirp. You probably get 3 people to chime on it. But if you put something up that's violent, that's like put up, that dude, whatever his Kodak Black guy, put him up. I know he's a rapper, but you put him up and it's going to be, everybody's going to be chiming in on it, or a video, a fight video. Everybody's going to chime in on it. And so I'm saying that to say, for those of you that's listening to the sound of my voice, you hear the words that's coming out, we must do something now. And I call it an emergency. And you just say it slower, emergency, and you start speeding up. It's an emergency that we must do it. We are on fire right now, and we're acting like it's not happening. And I'm just telling you from what I see, from the numbers, it's all the numbers. For me, everything, there's a lot of numbers out there. I tell people to look at where they are right now and be honest with yourself. I look at credit scores across the country, about 670, maybe 670. I mean, all you need is a 750, and I don't care if you had a 350. All you can do is improve on it. That's it. And when you had, them low scores, the things that you buy in like cars and houses, they just adding on more interest to you and everything like that. And then you got these people out here with 800 plus credit scores who are not using their credit scores, and it's like, why do you have an 800 if you're not going to use it? And when I say use it, there's money out there that we can tap into that we haven't at 0% interest. 0% from 6 to 18 months. So that's like almost saying, hey, I'm going to give you this money for free, and you give it back to me in a year and a half. And you've got to be kidding me that people do not take people up on that. But the funny thing is, we'll put our money in the bank and let the bank use our money to make, 100 times over how much we have in there and tag us on interest, and we got to pay to get our money out of the bank, and we put the money in the bank, but we won't go back and do the same thing and take the bank's money at 0% and then go make money off of it. I don't care if you took it at 0%, and I'm going to give y'all something y'all can use. You went and first go get the book. The book I'm talking about is Anthony Robbins' Money Master the Game. Anthony Robbins, Robbins, Money Master the Game, and they call him Tony Robbins. You just look at that one. Look at Tony Robbins, Money Master the Game. So when you look in that book, that is one of the best books that are out there. They talk about stocks. They talk about how we should be investing. They talk about money. 77% of Americans out there, 3 out of every 4 are like in financial worry right now, but it's only about 40% they report having any kind of spending on investment plan. Only 40% have an investment plan. Oh my goodness. 1 in 3 baby boomers have less than $1,000 saved. Saved. And baby boomers, they're 1946 to 64. Family, we are in trouble. Let me tell you who's in that book, because I really want people to really get a piece of it. And I see people giving out investment advice. I give out information, and I need people to go research it, because I'm not giving out any type of legal advice or anything like that. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer. I'm none of those things. I give out information that to me has worked and that I receive from other people, like I'm about to name right now. And I want you to go get the right information from the right people. But just because you have the information, a lot of people say knowledge is power, and I say no, it's not. Knowledge is only potential power, because if you don't use what you have, it doesn't really matter. So knowledge used effectively is power to me. That's just me. So in that book, you have a guy by the name of Warren Buffett. So, a lot of people may or may not know him, but to me, he is like Wall Street. He understands the money part, and that's what we have to do. We gotta get it from people who already been there. He's a billionaire for a reason. Then you have a guy by the name of John Bogle, and he's a 5-year-old guy that he's been in the stock market for 64 years, and he's killing it. He's the founder of Vanguard. Some of y'all may know about that, and that's like the number one mutual fund company in the world. And anytime you have somebody like that, you have to take advantage of it and use their information. But if everybody's saying the same thing, it's like I had somebody tell me, no, we don't have to do it like that because of this. And let me put a guarantee out there. After you read that book or listen to that book, and you should listen to it in Auto University, because a lot of y'all have to drive to work, and y'all in the car for at least 30 minutes backwards and forwards. So that's an hour of Auto University. You can get yourself trained up. You can learn as you go. And that's what you should be doing anyway. So go buy the audio version instead of listening to it. No knock on Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're doing their thing. But instead of listening to them in the morning, and I know you don't want to listen to anything that's motivational, that's going to make you any money or get you out of that job that you probably hate anyway, because over 70% hate going to the job, and a lot of people hate Mondays. And today is Monday, and I love Monday because my Monday is my Monday. I don't have to do what I don't want to do. I tell people at no point in time do I get up out of the bed to go do something I don't want to do. That's just how I set my life up. That's not bragging. That's my life. That's what I set up, and I'm living by that. Now, in the book, again, you have a guy by the name of Ray Dalio. He is the largest hedge fund on the planet with over $160 billion in assets. And he is telling us how we should invest. And I'm going to guarantee you again, after you read this book, people are going to tell you how you should do it. And they're going to go against what Warren Buffett says, Ray Dalio says, David Swensen says. So that's the next guy, David Swensen. He's one of the greatest institutional investors of all time. He grew up at Yale University, but he had $1 billion endowment. That is crazy. He didn't grow it now to about $23.9 billion, and that was less than 2 decades ago. So the guy has money, and he's in the book, and he's giving us information on what we should do. Why would we not want to take it? There's another guy by the name of Kyle Bass. He turned $30 million in investments to $2 billion in 2 years, and that was during the crisis, during when the market crashed and everything like that. So those are different people that we need to be. I only get my information from successful people. I listen to people, but I don't really hear what they're saying, because if they go against anybody that I'm working with, I continue to follow the people that I want to emulate. I would rather switch places and live and have the funding that David Swensen has, or Kyle Bass has, or you have this dude by the name of Carl Icahn, and he's outproduced Warren Buffett, and that's crazy. And when you can outproduce Warren Buffett in the stock market, that's just big time. Because to me, Warren Buffett just is, when I think of his name, I just think of stock. But he does. Warren is like, and the killing part for me is we are so stuck on this one job. That's what we do. We have one job, And we already know. And see, this call may not be for a lot of people because I'm not a sugarcoat type of guy. So I'm going to give it to you straight, no chaser. If it's not for you, please go ahead and hang up now. Please get off the line because I'm not sugarcoating. I'm not going to pacify anybody. I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm going to tell it like it is, y'all, because we need to have this conversation about money, and we are scared to talk money. We're scared to talk investments. I'm online. I ask people about investments. Chirp. I had one guy, he said it's personal. And I said, it's not personal to say you invest in a 401k. I mean, he said, no, I don't want anybody to get my information or steal my secrets. There's no secrets in investing. I mean, there's little bitty, hey, I would get that IPO and stuff like that. But, I mean, you can invest in stocks, bonds, CDs, real estate, from residential to commercial to gold to silver. That's just what it is. We have but so much we can use. So there's a lady by the name of Mary Rose, and she is, oh my goodness, considered to be one of the most powerful women in finance. She was, I don't know if she still is. She has assets of $2.5 trillion with a T, and the CEO of J.P. Morgan Asset Management, and that's just huge to be, put in that limelight. And I know a lot of people may recognize the name Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab, and he really opened up Wall Street in a sense to individual investors like us so we can get a piece of it. So he now has about $2.3 trillion with a T under his management. And so some people bank with Charles Schwab and all that kind of stuff. So that book right there, I'm going to tell you right now, I usually, when I do speaking engagements, I go give these different books to students, the ones that I've read. I cannot give that book away. That I can't. It's just I have to hold on to it because there's so much power in there, so much information. It's like you have to keep going to it. And I read it in bits and pieces, and you forget things and you go back to it. And I hear people talk about different things, so I go back to it to learn more. This lifestyle that we have right here, or this world that we're in right now, if you are not setting up the next generation, literally, I think we're failures. That's what I believe. If we're not setting up the next generation, and this is the hard part that we have to look at. So if I look at my great-grandfather, came from humble beginnings. My grandfather, humble beginnings. Father, humble beginnings. Me, humble beginnings. So should we keep it going, family? When does it stop? Like, when does the bull crap stop? What are we going to do? What are you going to do? What are you doing for your generation, your next generation that's coming? Are you giving them financial to eat? Because, I know we got the fast foods to eat. I'm saying, what are we giving them? Because we already know what fast food is going to do to us. What are we giving them to eat? And if you don't understand what to do, you have to go find it. I started from the projects. Please don't hit me with excuses. Don't hit me about being poor. I don't want to hear none of that. Please, no. From the powdered eggs to the powdered milk, the government cheese, you can't tell me about poor. Please, leave that one alone. I would say we have to figure it out. Surround yourself with better people. If the people around you suck, I'm telling you, if 4 people suck, 9 times out of 10, the 5th person is you, so you're going to suck too. And like I said, I can't sugarcoat this thing. We don't have time to pacify anybody. We don't have time not to get it right. We don't have time to do it a second time. We don't have time because we're already behind the power curve. And I have to put this out here because, y'all may or may not know, I'm a black man. And I'm going to just tell you where we came from. So we came from being discriminated against, as everybody knows. We came from not being able to get access to housing. It was called redlining. We came from not getting access to loans or getting loans that were higher than other people out there that didn't look like us. That's where we came from. We came from not being able to get the best job. So now, I would say, people have 200, 300, 400 jump on us. And now you have to start. And it's like we can't make excuses. All we can do is put the work in. That's all we can do. We have a limited amount of time to make things happen. We don't know what tomorrow holds. None of us do. And everybody act like we have until, 2020, 2025. And everybody does the same thing every year. 3 months is gone, family. 3 are like shot. They are gone. What are you going to do? Like the next 3, what are you going to do? What you going to do? And I know we want to enjoy ourselves. I get that part. I think you have to have a balance, some type of balance so you can get there. What I've done in my family, I put the weight of everything on my shoulders. I put the weight on my shoulders because I body build. I put the weight on my shoulders. Somebody has to take it. Who's going to take it for your family? Because if you keep doing the same thing that we've been doing, we're going to keep getting the same thing we've been getting. I promise you I cannot leave the next generation with poverty. Humble beginnings. For what? I know better. They say when you know better, you do better. That's a lie. When you know better, if you don't get up and do something, then you probably won't do better. So you can't say that same thing. People use all these cliches that's just they're lies. We're not, I mean, money don't grow on trees. Well, yes, it does, because trees are made of wood and paper. So it really does. So it's a lot of cliches that we use and a lot of things that we're not doing. We don't want to face facts. We don't want to just say, okay, I need to stop the bull crap. I need to get ready. And let me give it to you. Let me give y'all another one. So I'm living in Virginia, right? Those who don't know, because I know this radio station is out of Missouri, St. Louis. But anyway, so I'm living in Virginia, and in Virginia we got this big concert coming up this weekend. And I'm telling you, people are flying in all over, and they're going to max out the beach area like crazy. Tickets, oh my gosh. I'm talking $250, $350, $450, $500, and I'm talking hotel rooms over $1,000 per night, and they're making you get 4 nights. So check this out, y'all. We have the money. You better believe that. We have the money to do whatever we need to do, because when something great comes along, people are going to go get clean. They're going to get new shoes, new clothes, hairstyles. They're going to spend all this money getting their car up to speed. They done bought hotel rooms and tickets and wristbands and VIP passes and VIP passes to get backstage. And now they $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 down for a 3-day weekend, $5,000 gone. And then they're going to say, we don't have the money, $1,000 gone. And we don't have the money for some music. Now, I'm not knocking the festival. I think it's going to be a great festival. I hope it goes out great. But we can imagine if we took that money to build something. Imagine if we took that money to put into multifamily houses and apartments and started helping the homeless with the funding that we already have. There is no money issue. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. There is no money issue. There's just an issue of discipline. There's an issue of coming together, and there's an issue of the plan and working the plan. See, we want everything now. We don't want the money that's going to be the long money. We don't want the long money. The long money just got to sit in there for 5 years and age. Then it doubles. You let it sit there for 5 years and it doubles. And then you do it again and it doubles. And you do it again and it doubles. And then you have life insurance because you have children that you can, when it's your time to go, because everybody's leaving, then they can pass on and get that funding, maybe a couple million, and now they don't have to start it at the bottom floor. They don't have to. We have all this stuff, all these assets in our power, but we just kind of just let it go through our hand like sand. That's what we're doing. That's the reality of our life right now. And that's a lot of people out there living right now, a lot of people just doing things to where somebody told me, Charles, why don't you just go get the new such and such as far as cars? I said, let me explain something to y'all. The car that I drive is paid off. Please believe that one. I love the paid off. I'm not about that car note life. I don't care about them cars. I want to get to point A to point B. That's about it. I'm telling y'all, I'm not about that life. I'm not doing it. I had to be a student first. I had to get over myself because I was one of those people who went to Vegas and spent $5,000 in 3 days. I don't even know what happened to the money, but I had a good time, I think. I don't know. It was years ago. That had to have been like back in 2011, right before 2011. I was out in there. I remember everything. And then I had some people sit me down. It was like, Charles, what are you doing? You spending money like like us, and either some of my mentors, they were multi-millionaires, and they said, we don't even spend money like that. And he said, I was traveling overseas. I was doing entirely too much. But I thought that was me. I thought that was living. I really did. And I really had to come to terms and say, okay, I went to go get my finances looked at by one of them financial persons. And next thing you know, I did the numbers. I was spending $672 on food. Like eating out, because I travel a little bit, but I like great food. That's just me. I just love great food, but that's excessive. That's really excessive. And so I had to put myself on restrictions, and I had to figure out a new plan. And my mentors told me back 2011, they said, on the way you're going right now, you're going to end up working for somebody for the next 35 plus years. That's what they told me. And they said, we can give you the information, but, it's up to you to take it. And then they said, the plan we're going to give you, we're going to put you on a 3 to 5 year plan. They said, you have a choice, though. You can take 35 or you can take 3 to 5. And I said, I'll take 3 to 5. And so I took the 3 to 5 year plan. I finished the plan in a year and a half, and I walked away from a 6-figure income. And I will tell it to y'all like this. I'm a numbers guy. Nobody walks away from a 6-figure income. You better not, unless you have a plan in place. Unless something happened and then you get, cut out. Because I would say about less than 8% of the United States makes over $100,000 a year. So that would mean the rest of the 92% don't make over $100,000 a year. On average, across the United States, the average pay per year is $49,000. And people thought I was crazy. I walked away 14 September 2012. Still remember the day like it was yesterday. And it was a scary heck. Yeah, it was scary. And people still ask me to this day, does it work? So from 14 September 2012 to today, which is, we're going to be going into 2020. Does it work? And I tell people, no, it doesn't work, but neither do I. How about that? It's just information. So I took the information, and let me tell you what I did. One of my other mentors told me, cut the TV off. He said, cut the TV off and put that time into your craft. Put that time into what you need to do instead of bullcrapping and watching hours and hours of TV. And what I learned, you can look this up too, by the time we reach the age of 65, we will have watched 9 years of TV. 9 years of TV. That is amazing. And all I'm telling people, I'm not saying cut it off for good. I would say do it this way. If you haven't worked in your business, don't cut it on. Work your business first, then cut it on. Or cut that 9 years in half and only watch 4.5 years. I don't know. You figure it out. That's on you. And some people say, I got to watch my show. By all means, turn that thing on and keep on watching. Because what's going to hold everybody back is we love to be entertained. We have to be entertained. We're going to watch those TV shows. We're going to go to that concert. We're going to watch that comedy jam. That's what we do. And next thing you know, it's like, man, I don't like this job. I want to make more money. I don't have any time. Oh, you have time because you're going to be at the concert. You have time because you hung out with your girlfriends last weekend. You have time because you out there just partying and having fun. So it's we all have that 24, but it's what you do with your 24 that counts. That's all that matters. I'm going to tell y'all the best thing in this whole world. The best thing in this whole world is called freedom. And some people won't get there. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for nobody. Can't do that. I'm just going to tell you this thing called freedom where you have 100% of your time, there's nothing better. There is nothing better than freedom. And I will tell you, when you get to that point, you're going to have to work probably harder than you did at your job. You're just over broke. You're juggling over bills. You're jumping out of bed. That's that job. I'm telling you what it is. If you're going to work at job, you should be able to work for you too. Work harder for you than you do for somebody else. Why are you building somebody else's dreams and you're not ready to build yours? But you have all these dreams, all these hopes, and you going, a lot of y'all stressed the hell out. And the crazy part is, how do you go to work and eat They make you like mandate some of you to eat breakfast. You ate breakfast and then they say, okay, lunch is at 9:30. How you eat lunch at 9:30 and breakfast? You just had breakfast. That's why your stomach's messed up and you're hurting and you can't breathe and you go into the doctor and your high blood pressure because you got to eat. Who eats doggone lunch at 9:30 in the morning? Talking about they making you eat it. Come on now. We got to think about this stuff. The body is like a clock. You can't just be throwing your body off like that. And some of y'all can't sleep at night, got anxiety. Some of y'all don't like the people y'all work with. The boss is mad at you. You got probably one more time before you late for work, and the next thing you know, you got to find another job or you got to go out and find another master. Y'all going to hear me on this one. I'm not sugarcoating it for nobody. I can't do it. I want you to do better for you and your next generation and for the community that you live in and then span out from there. That's how we win. You cannot do everything in a bubble. You can't just try to cut everything off and drink your way or smoke your way or do drugs on the weekend and think that you're going to disappear for a little bit because guess what's coming around? Today is Monday. It's coming around every time, I'm telling you. Don't get to the point to where you only live for the weekend. See, this is what I don't understand. This is my mentality. Check me out on this one. We get to Monday, people be dragging. Tuesday, Wednesday is hump day. Oh, shoot. Everybody get a little high. Thursday, what they call that? That's the weekend eve. I don't know what they call it. Thursday, people be hyped. And then Friday, I'm going to tell you what I do. From a business perspective, I like to call people on Friday because they're more likely to say yes to my demands or what I need because they're happy because it's Friday. People get ecstatic on Friday. They lose their dang old minds. And people be literally watching the clock. It's 2:59. One more minute, y'all. One more minute. And then it's almost like set us free. Set us free. And then they let you go at 3 o'clock and you hype. Before you was going to be going to sleep, but now you hype, you hanging out, and then you hanging out on Saturday, and then Sunday you hanging out a little bit. You done went to church, played a little ball, messed with the kids a little bit. Now this is what used to happen to me. Around 6, 7 o'clock, I used to be pissed off on Sunday because I knew money was coming right around the doggone corner, and we had to start it all over again. This is what I'm going to ask you. If you love Friday and Saturday that much, why don't you work your behind off so you can have every day your Friday and your Saturday? All I'm asking. If you love it that much, because I see so many people go crazy over Friday and Saturday. So this is what I'm going to do. I want to say thank y'all for getting on. I'm going to pray us out. Well, thank you to Ms. Kimmy for having the vision to doing Ms. Kimmy Robinson for doing the Elation magazine and how it formed into Elation Radio and where it's going and the Elation family. I just want to say thank y'all to everybody. Anybody who need to contact me, I'm Charles McCutchen, McCutchen. I'm at charlesmspeaks@yahoo.com. You can find me all over social media. Get in touch with Kimmy in the radio station, and she will get you in touch with me. So I'm going to pray us out, dear Heavenly Father. I pray to you right now. I pray that you bless the people who are listening to this right now, people that's trying to understand what's going on in their life. I pray for everybody's strength. I pray for sanity to be sane and help them to get through this, dear Father. I know that everything happens in your time when you want it to, and I'm keeping this prayer over everybody's and everybody's family. And I just want to say thank y'all for getting on. God bless y'all. Take it easy. This is Charles's Corner.
He's my rose, my Who woke you up this morning with a
a roof up over your head. That's my Roche. Who provides the source of your income, give you that bread. That's my Roche. Remember when you didn't have a thing, you was out there lost. That's my Roche. Do you receive double, he increased you like a bounce. That's my Roche. Hey, that's my rock. My God's so good to me. Blessing after blessing, even ones that I can't see. I can't thank him enough, cause he done so much, he's my foundation, my God, he holds me up. He's my rock. He's the reason I can't stop giving them praise until I drop. He took me from the bottom all the way to the top. That's why I tell the devil get back. Strapped with the word, click clack. And you ain't never gotta wonder where my faith at. I can do all things through Christ. Did you get that? Chase God, not money. That's true facts. I'm obese with belief. Yeah, too fat. My foundation's too strong, so it can't crack. I'm cool when life gets rocking, no ace. He laid down his life like a flow, man. That's why I go so hard and never go back. I'm never searching for a blessing at all, cause he's my rock when my back against the wall. The true rock, you should smell what it cooking. Baking up joy like peanut butter cookies. Get a taste of him and you might start juking. Get the shouting hallelujah, got everybody looking. That's okay though. Yes sir, he's solid. 10 toes down, he endows me with knowledge. Provide strength when I'm weak in my body. I bounce back with a fight like Ali. For Roche, gotta know he don't play. The big homie on the block with the most game. I just lean on him like a brick wall. Got your back when you slack, make the big fall. What a big dog, thank you for the sacrifice. Thank you, Lord, for giving life and sending down the Holy Christ. A refuge and fortress of solitude. I'm flex